Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Dave, and in this Magento Basics tutorial, you're going to learn how to create a new return policy in M2EPro.
That's right, and with that said, let's jump across to Magento and we'll show you how. So Dave, we've been and come across to our Magento admin area, and of course follow us along in your system. Now we need to get into the policies area within M2EPro or in Magento. It's really easy to do. If you go to Sell on eBay, down to Configuration, and you'll want to click on the Policies tab at the top. Now, Dave, we've got a process running here in the background, so we're just going to skip past that one. And you want to click onto the Policies tab. Now, it is worth pointing out is that if you do not have a Policies tab, that does mean that you don't have the advanced mode of M2EPro enabled, and look up Understanding E on YouTube, and we've got a separate video tutorial to show you how to enable that. Now, with that said, Dave, adding a new policy to M2EPro is really straightforward to do. Over here on the right hand side, click on Add Policy and you'll see the different types of policies which you can add. Now we're after a returns policy to go and create one, so click on Return. Now you're presented with two options. First of all is the title, which we'll explain more in a few moments, and the next one is the eBay site. Now you'll see that we've got multiple sites or eBay sites enabled within our Magento system for M2EPro. Now if that's something you would like to do, so internationally using Magento and M2EPro, we've got a free course to show you how over on, funny enough, understandinge.com. Now anyway, coming back, we've chosen the United States, but we're actually based in the United Kingdom, so we're going to choose the UK or United Kingdom. But Dave, did you see those settings then changed?
Yep.
So if I flick between the United Kingdom and the United States, that these options do change between the different eBay sites. And also it's worth noting, over time these changes will change as well, because eBay do update these policies from time to time. So we're going to choose the United Kingdom. Now we're going to name this eBay UK, so after the eBay site which we're going to be using. We're going to call it Returns Policy, and then we're going to choose 14 days. Okay, so that's what we've called our policy. And the reason why we're naming this is that we want to know what this policy is doing from a drop-down box rather than having to go into the policy to see what the settings are. Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah, makes sense to me.
So you'll want to choose whether returns are accepted or not, the time period, whether you accept or require extended holiday returns. Now, Dave, that's an option which is only really applicable at Christmas. And there was a big thing back in 2014 where sellers got an extra boost for offering that option. And who the return shipping will be paid by, so in this case, buyer. And then if you've got any additional details to add to your returns, then that's where you enter it in this box here. Now, a big tip from myself and Dave is keep that short, and also keep it in plain English. The reason being, there's nothing quite worse going to an eBay listing. You've got a big long listing template, which is extremely comprehensive. And again, we'll show you in the other video tutorials which we have, and then be presented with another 10, 12 inches of a big scary returns policy. So our tip for you is either cover this within your actual item description, or keep it really, really simple. Maybe if you can, down to just a couple of bullet points, just to make it really easy for your customers. Oh, and another note in there, you can't actually use HTML, so just keep the formatting really, really basic. Now, once you've been and made those changes and you're happy with your new returns policy, press save at the top. Now, Dave, our new returns policy will be in this list for us, and we can use any of the filtering options here to find it. But we're guessing that you've come and found this video tutorial because you want to apply this policy, or not only to create a new returns policy, but also to apply it to one or more of your eBay listings, or maybe a listing group within M2EPro. So we're going to show you how to do that too. So with that said, if you go up to Sell on eBay and then click on Listings, Now, Dave, I'm going to choose our test group down here. Now, you would have noticed that we have a lot of listing groups set up within our Magento system. And the reason for that is, again, for the tutorials which we make for Magento and M2EPro, but also for the advanced tutorials. So how you can sell on eBay, not only in your native country, so maybe that's ebay.com or maybe ebay.co.uk, but also how to sell on eBay Germany, eBay France, Spain, Australia, and so on and so forth. So that's why we've got a lot of listing groups. Now, Dave, coming back onto topic, you may want to either apply or set this policy as a default for all of your items within this listing group, or you may want to set it just for 1 or 2 products, and I'll show you how to do both of those. So to do that, it's really simple. Click on Edit Settings and then click on Payment and Shipping. Now, Dave, did you notice that there was no returns option in that drop-down box? It was hiding.
Yes, saw that, yeah.
It's not actually listed in there, but you do want the payment and shipping settings. So where you've got returns, if you drop that box down, you'll then be able to see eBay UK returns policy 14 days. And of course, if you then press save at the top, that returns policy will be applied to all of your eBay listings within this M2EPro listing group. Now, the other option here is that maybe you want to apply that policy to just 1 or maybe just a handful of the listings which you've got in this listing group. And to do that is really simple. Now, on your screen, I'm going to highlight the view mode section. So where it says eBay right now, drop this down and then choose settings. Now, Dave, remind me to show you how to change that back afterwards, because there's nothing quite like coming in this section you go, that's not what I'm used to. So we'll show you how to put that back at the end. Now, in this middle column, can you see it says return used from listing settings? So that means the default up here, which we just set a few moments ago. But if you wanted to set that returns policy, so maybe you had a product which wasn't returnable, for example, maybe it was a bespoke product, and you want to apply that return settings just to that one listing or maybe just a couple of listings, what you can do is tick that listing on the left hand side. From the actions menu, drop this down and then choose payment and shipping and then click submit on the right hand side. And in the pop-up window, you can drop this down and then set a returns policy just for that one listing or however many listings that you've been and picked up. So you could just choose the eBay UK returns policy 14 days if you wanted, or whichever policy you've just been and created. Now in our case, we're going to change that back to use from listing settings and then click on save. Now a little tip for you, and this is a big one, which is that you want to go back to the view mode box and change that back to eBay, so you go back to the normal screen which you're used to. If you would like to know more about the view modes, again, check out our video tutorials over on understandinge.com. Now Dave, last tip here as well is that if you want the changes to go through immediately, tick 1 or more items on the left hand side, and then from the actions menu at the top, choose the revise items on eBay option, click on submit and then click on OK, and that listing or listings will be automatically updated in the background. And again, ours will go through in a few moments as it did just then. Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
So from myself, Matt.
And from me, Dave.
Cheerios. So from myself, Matt.
And me, Dave.
We hope that you found this video tutorial helpful.
If you have, then let us know by leaving a thumbs up on this video below or subscribing to our YouTube channel.
We believe to use Magento, you don't need a degree in Nerd, and we've created you over 300 step-by-step video tutorials at understandinge.com to help you.
In these tutorials, you'll learn how to use Magento with no prior knowledge,
how to build a fully responsive Magento website for just $99, which is about 65 quid.
How you can use Magento to sell on eBay and Amazon with M2EPro.
And you'll be joined by over 6,000 fellow business owners just like you.
And the best part is, it's free to join.
So for myself, Matt.
And me, Dave.
We'll see you there. Cheerios.